Dan Waterman here, back in the chill corner with my favorite pal, Mindless Council, with another topic to discuss today. Also, how you feeling today?
I'm slowly recovering from a headache from earlier, so I'm gonna try my best.
Well, thanks for telling me. So we're gonna take it a little bit easy today. We're pretty much gonna keep it down to like probably two topics. One he wants to address, and probably a little bit of discussion after that. So probably a little bit on the short side for this podcast, but we'll see where it goes. Alrighty. Now let's start with a little bit of a icebreaker, something to get us going, So, alright, Gonzo, you are stranded on an island. You're only allowed one thing. What would it be?
Well, at least a 10 so I can at least, while I wait on, if I'm having to wait on rescue, at least a 10 so I can at least have a decent chance to create whatever elements.
That's the most practical choice. I would have said an infinite supply of houses and electricity.
Yeah, but it'll probably be very hard to get on a desert island.
Yeah, I could make it work. Trust me, my practical skills are none to be underestimated. I can make it work. I've seen a lot of Minecraft videos, so I can do it.
Hey.
Anyway, other than that, like, how's your day been going so far, other than your thing? It been going good?
For the most part, alright.
Well, I can say pretty much, we already got that stuff out of the way, so we'll pretty much dive right in. Right? So that's pretty much you told me over message that said there was a particular anime you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, recently, as part of our little groups, like little month of trying to like jumpstart on us binging anime, try to catch up on whatever titles we want, I decided to try to binge to encourage some others. I've been pacing myself this past week up until last night, which I couldn't continue because Popcorn Palace had an episode missing. It was one of the animes I wanted to at least try and touch up upon. Came out like last year and went for a 13th season called May I Ask for One Final Thing. Because I ended up seeing a bit of previews throughout the past couple of months, and it reminded me of another anime where some member of royalty had to get down and dirty and had to rough up a couple of guys from, like, I remember watching this around 08 when I was basically watching college. I decided to take a look at that. And basically, I can't really give out too much spoilers considering I just stopped around episode 8. I'm trying to download the rest so I can take a look at it later on, maybe stream it to the group, whoever's interested. But it's recently about this poorly mistreated woman named Scarlet. She lives in this world where magic is, raised supreme, and yeah, she's basically went to this prestigious academy because she's part of that upper high class society, right? And for a while she was engaged to this fucking break of a prince, mistreated her to a lot, was engaged to a bit, and then he decided to do this unnecessarily. He decided to break off the engagement at a huge ballroom party. Like literally, that's how the series started. And with that horrible mistreatment and her, I don't know how to describe it. But she's not like dainty or anything. She grew up wanting to because it's not like all of a sudden she just went fucking nuts and shit like that. She was a bit of a wild, untamed kind of individual to start with, and this is all detailed in the very first episode. She loves beating people up. She likes a little bit of competition and here and there. Just loves to humble people. But because she's upper class, she has to put that all by her. To quote the most annoying song we ever had to deal with from Frozen, Let It Go, she basically had to conceal, don't feel that shit, right? Don't worry, I'm not going to go into it. I find Frozen's Let It Go annoying after hearing it review.
Don't worry, I'm working with you there, so don't worry about it. So basically, the long short of this anime is basically about this woman Scarlet who basically loves the four hands.
Yeah, and the whole series so far, up until basically when I stopped around 8 the other night, was basically her beating up some people, but decided to beat up strategically corrupt high society politicians, people who are well off and shit like that, who pretty much are just ruining this decent fantasy utopia with, fucking human trafficking, slavery, corruption and shit.
Basically like in the premise, it's like Robin Hood, but if Robin Hood pretty much just learned lesson from Muhammad Ali is to start beating people up with their fists.
Yeah, well, like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, even using magic in order to at least enhance her beating up abilities. Because, it's not like she's a novice or anything in the story. She was one of the high-end students to learn combat and magical abilities. And she, her specialty, since she was, quote, blessed with it, is being able to manipulate a little bit of time. So she pretty much uses that to her, abilities.
Dude, that's pretty much like, if I, okay, I'm just gonna make a quote right here. Y'all can pretty much just quote me on this. It sounds like she's after Dio's own heart.
Hell, fucking, I even made this observation when I watched it. I think it was, I can't remember which day it was, but I was with ER a bit, and like probably Crypt Pug, one of our friends, that in one of the episodes where she pretty much was targeting this huge fucking badass who was behind this huge human slavery trafficking thing, she literally slowed time down just to deliver a couple of well-deserved punches, and it did look like she channeled in Dio Zawado. Fucking stand.
Bro, that might really, she'd be like the perfect freaking like partner for freaking Dio, if that was even possible. Like, if she can get behind like Dio's like personality and ambitions, they would have been like a huge power couple at that point. I'm just saying right there, y'all can quote me on that. Good grief. But yeah, them pretty much, yeah, I know you pretty don't want to like spoil too much, but so I was gonna advertise this a little bit. If you heard of this YouTuber called CJ the Champ, you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
Well, check him out. Pretty much he does like summaries to like moments in anime. Pretty much he pretty much has his own spin on it, but he kind of summarizes certain animes he talks about. This one in particular, when you talk about, he did a summary about it, where he pretty much he goes in how to describe Scarlet from start to finish without spoiling too much. So if you want like a more summarized description of the anime, I'll link his video down in the description for you to check it out, because he is freaking awesome when it comes to like summarizing stuff. I recommend checking him out. CJ the Champ, that's his YouTube name.
Alrighty then.
But yeah, but pretty much in all premises of anime, like you enjoying it? Like it's really getting your attention and all that?
I gotta say it does. It's very intriguing, because like it's basically, what if someone from the high end society is like, fuck being, prissy, upper side society and all that, I want to fucking go crazy and punch some people, especially with all the mistreatment that I've done to deal with. For mine, it kind of has that taste, even though it's very, very different, but it's similar in taste to this one anime that I dealt with back in college around 08, called Murder Princess, which was a 6-episode direct-to-video anime, basically, where, yeah, it's just somebody that has to deal with having to get their hands dirty because the kingdom ended up suffering a coup, and they pretty much had to defend it while everything gets restructured and everything because the king ended up dying and all that shit. It's kind of similar to that, even though there's a little bit of differences, whole lots of differences. Because the high class society, a princess who ended up having to swap parts around. Because like I don't want to spoil too much, even though it's almost a 20-year anime to deal with. Because the weapons used in that anime, Murder Princess, was a sword, but Scarlet just magic and bare knuckles for starters. But shit, I do also love how fucking it's a bit interesting too how I only watched the dub. I don't know how it was originally when it was in only subtitled, but it was very amusing to hear in English some of the more intricate ways of her wanting to politely ask to just beat somebody down and like just having a ball at it too. Like in the several fights I saw her do.
That's probably like the most polite way to say, I want to throw hands. Like, excuse me, can I ask one thing? I want to beat the crap out of this guy right next to me because he's been eyeballing me in this ball all day. That's literally the premise I'm getting from her. Like, look, everything's going to happen, everything's going on. I just want to beat the crap out of that guy in the corner.
Yeah, and it even got to the point to where someone who took interest in her and pretty much just became infatuated with her just upon seeing her ability was like, oh yeah, I kind of want in on that, but she was like, yeah, no.
Wow. Well, it's kind of like that.
Beat his ass.
Like certain people do kind of like a partner that can kick the crap out of them. It's kind of like a thing for them to be saying. Yeah, I'm not one of them. Trust me, I ain't one of them. But yeah, it's pretty much going around that there was a quote in one anime I think I watched, and it was a movie from Cowboy Bebop. Spike pretty much made this quote about
I think I know this one.
Yeah, since I love a woman who can kick my ass.
Yeah.
and that premise pretty much solidified it all for the future, like animes and stuff. That people will like certain people will like have that kind of like a affection to certain partners that then whip their tail. I don't know what happens. Just some stars are hard. I'm like, this is, man, that punch made me start hitting, start feeling different. I want to marry this person. I don't know I don't know how that happens. I don't know where. I don't know how. But evidently it's a thing, and it's the funniest shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I remember the context of that quote too, because I know exactly which one you're talking about. It was
It's
the cowboy.
it's a Cowboy
It was the
Bebop
cowboy
movie,
bebop. Yeah,
knocking at
knocking
Heaven's
on heaven.
door.
Yep. Yeah, and he pretty much ran into Spike. Ended up running into that one woman who pretty much is proficient in close quarters combat, like he is.
Yep. It was that fight scene that pretty much kind of solidified it for being one of the best anime movies out there. So that fight was so choreographed that people were breaking down and watching from frame by frame how it was, like how they managed to do it. That's how cool it was. Like, I watched it multiple times and I still get excited every time I see that scene.
And that's just on top of it being a great series overall. I remember watching Cowboy Bebop all those years ago, like watching the series from start to finish. And
yep. I have the entire freaking collection on my freaking Xbox right now. The whole collection.
Yeah, it's worth a look, especially considering how classic it is.
Dude, it is, man. Like, for those watching who have not seen Cowboy Bebop, this is me and Gonzo's like stamp of approval. Go watch that anime, man. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. In the movie too, it just caps it all together too. Like, if you watch all the way from start to finish, then watch the movie after, man, you'll be feeling things you never thought you felt before. Oh, but I digressing. Anyway, the Scarlet. Anything else you want to bring up without spoiling? Something else you want to bring up about it?
Right. Pretty much ended up having to stop right now. I got to the point to where Scarlet, and may I ask for one final thing, is helping out with a little pilgrimage with someone of significance, and I'm hoping I'm hoping to get to the point to where I finish it up and I finally get to see Scarlet punch a goddamn goddess. Because it looks like from the story setup, looks like there's a goddess who pretty much was responsible for all this fucking bullshit that Scarlet's been through. Not too detailed or anything, but it's worth a watch. But yeah, I'm hoping to see Scarlet punch a goddamn goddess. I doubt even the most physical people of anime, like what was his name from Fist of the North Star? I doubt he even punched any sort of fictional deity or any of the Joes of Joe Stars, the JoJos, even that, or any, or hell, ain't there some sort of anime where also muscles magic or something like that, where they also have to do with that shit? Yeah, something like that.
I know the anime you talk about season 1 and 2.
Yeah, I haven't seen it myself, but I don't know. Have they ever dealt with punching a god or goddess yet?
Dude, I recommend it. How do I describe it? It's the premise. It's pretty much kind of like how you have like the anime mask for one thing, but the premise is the main character. It's pretty much just like Harry Potter, but the main character going can do is punch stuff. Basically, like in Master, basically it's a world where magic is everything, and pretty much they're determined by the marks on their faces. If you have a mark, you can use magic. Anytime you have a magic that you're pretty much affiliated to. Marshall, he was born without a mark, so he had no magic. But it was like a discriminatory thing. Like, if you had no magic, you were deemed subhuman. They would have killed you on sight. So his adopted father pretty much kept him protected for a while, but trained him how to defend himself by, believe it or not, I don't know how this works, by lifting weights. Like, he lifts weights, he does anything like a normal bodybuilder would do. When he does it, it's almost on the level of Saitama level of strength, where he can pretty much almost one-shot a wizard. He even cancel out some of their magic with just his fists alone.
You got a shield? I got my fucking fists.
Like, literally, like in the first freaking episode, he got found out because his stick is he likes eating cream puffs. That's pretty much his go-to. He defied his father to go get some cream puffs because he knows if he gets discovered, police will be on him. So even though he knew that, he still went anyway because of the cream puffs. So he got spotted. He's following him home, threatening his father, and he comes in, beats crap out of almost all of them except for the leader, who picks up his shield. He grabs his father's wand and just throws it. He doesn't even use it. He throws it and completely breaks the guy's shield. In every episode, it's just so much freaking wacky stuff of his strength and what he can do that he thinks he's using magic. Oh, you just gotta watch it, man. I'm not doing it justice. It is a freaking funny but also anime to watch. I recommend it. Like, if you like One Punch Man, Mob Psycho 100, man, Ask for One Final Thing, for those kind of animes, you will definitely love Marshall, Muscles of Magic.
Put that on my watch list.
Yep, not just that, but also the music too. I forgot to add this. Season 2's music, the first opening song is it slaps. I ain't gonna go into detail I'll just say once you get to season 2, when you hear that opening song, it slaps. So you don't say anything else about it.
Alright then.
But yeah, that's probably think about freaking mashup. Yeah, so, I think we would check it out at some point. I think we would take a look at it. Now, since we got that big talk, and pretty much you already invested me into an anime I'm gonna probably watch later. Now we're gonna get into a new segment called Anime Moments That Stood Out to Us. They say the premise of this topic is basically pretty much reminisce from animes that we watched. The moments in anime that we watched that kind of stuck out to us. Be like something good, something funny, something crazy, or something messed up, or all the above. And pretty much we'll just go into that for as long as we can, because trust me, I got a list. But for something a bit lighthearted, I'll say like, what was the most funniest moment in an anime that you watched?
God, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Well, while you think of that, then I guess I'll start off then. Probably one of the most funniest moments, and I hate to pretty much bring this back. It was literally the very first episode of Mashal, Muscles of Magic. So it was pretty much around the time when the police pretty catch on that Mashal didn't have any magic. He was about to fire magic blast at him, and he thought he hit him, but it turns out when they do a replay, he backhands the magic. He just backhands it. The guy's having a freaking realize like, did that magic just go poof? He just went poof, and it was gone. I'm like, oh jeez. And then he tries again, and he gets backhanded again. It's like, he knows down one path. What is going on here? I'm using magic, and he's slapping it like it's nothing. What is this guy? Oh, dude, it was phenomenal. It was funny, so, and it gets funnier. The episodes go on. Like I said, I won't spoil it too much. I already kind of did with the first episode, but that's pretty much like the introduction. You ain't gonna miss much. But I'll save the other episodes for when you watch the other episodes. But for an iconic funny moment, I've seen it because I know there was one that I watched like a couple years ago that made me laugh my ass off. Oh, I remember. You know it's anime called Trapped in a Dating Sim?
I don't think I dealt with that one.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to recommend another anime for you to watch at some point. Let me look up the name of it because like I think it's a long ass name, but if you pretty much put Trapped in a Dating Sim, it'll probably pop up. Let's see. There it is. It's called Trapped in a Dating Sim. The world of otome games is tough for mobs.
In other words, this is one of those other isekais.
In the most funniest way possible. You see, the main guy who pretty much was suckered into playing an otome game for his younger sister to 100% it. He gets isekai by falling down the stairs and wakes up in the said otome game that he just finished 100%ing. The game that he hates, he gets isekai into. And he has to go through life trying to figure out how to make a stable life for himself while dealing with the crap that the otome game has put him through in the game. And I would recommend watching it on English dub because the main character, his personality is freaking, it is funny as hell, man. I watched that first season multiple times just to hear him spout crap and obscenities. Like, if I had to compare him, it's like Erickson if he was freaking Aaron Foxy.
Oh god. Right. Our friend Erickson.
Yep. It'd be lightly on the expeditions, but his personality, like against like crap that pisses him off, it's definitely Karen Foxy to a T.
Oh lord, the act that he puts up, it gives me nightmares.
But trust me, he's much more better. He won't give you a headache because you won't understand where he's coming from when he acts like this. Won't go into detail, but like I said, I would recommend you to watch it. Along with Mash, so pretty much I'm giving you the whole list to watch.
It'll be added on the list that I'm trying to get through.
It's recommended. It's pretty much you can take your time while watching it. If you haven't done anything, I probably can move on to another moment then.
Yeah, because like I'm drawing blanks, especially given how, God, my head still kind of hurts.
All right, it's fine. We can move on to another one then. Okay. Let's see. A moment in anime that made you say, what the hell? That pretty much that's like a moment that you watched an anime like you did a double take. Like, what the frick's happening? Or I can't believe that just happened. Though. What the heck is that? Something like that. For me, I have multiple, but the surefire one that's on the pinnacle top of WTF moments in anime for me, and I think you probably attest to this, it's the anime ending of Berserk, aka The Eclipse.
I said they never sat through Berserk, but do tell.
Ooh, this is there's no point not spoiling it because it's been out for a while, so If you read the manga, pretty much you know what happens. But you, Gonzo, I will personally explain to you what happens.
Okay.
Okay, for the premise of anime, how much do you know about the characters? Like, I mean, what people do you know?
I only know about Guts through whatever memes just pop up on my feed.
Yep, you know Guts. Okay, do you know this woman named Casca and another man named Griffith?
Can't remember them.
Well, this is probably gonna go over your head. Basically, I'll try to chop it up a little bit. Basically, Guts was part of this group called Band of the Hawk, led by Griffith, and pretty much they go like winning wars and stuff like that, becoming well known in the kingdom of pretty much where they're in, to the point where they be recognized as nobility. Guts decides that because when he heard this man Griffith said that in order to be an ally or a friend of mine, he has to have a dream. So Guts got to thinking, never had a dream before, and in order to be friends with him, I have to go find my dream. So he decides to leave the Hawks. Griffith doesn't take that too kindly and duels him. But in their first duel, when they first met, Griffith pretty much went to floor with him. He beat the crap out of him with just one hit. In this phase, when he fought Guts again, it was different. Guts beat him with one strike, and that strike broke Griffith. He did something inconceivable that got him arrested and tortured for almost a year. So the Hawks find out what happened to Griffith. They storm in to save him with Casca, which is like Griffith's second command, who falls in love with Guts at some point. They're going to escape the clutches of the kingdom that almost arrested Griffith. Then some crazy magic thing happens, and Griffith activates an item known as the Behemoth, and Storm starts what is known as the Eclipse. A moment in time where both physical and metaphysical planes intersect in one moment. So basically, the whole band of Hawk gets jettisons into another world, or dimension, to be more specific, where they get accosted by four demons known as the God Hand, who takes out Griffith because he is said to be a certain king of the God Hand. He becomes a God Hand himself because he chooses to sacrifice everybody in the band of Hawk, including Guts and Casca. What happens in the eclipse is that monsters and demons or apostles come out and eat, devour, eviscerate majority of the band of the Hawk. Let's say about over 100 people. Go some detail. Now you think that would have been the most what the hell moment, but no, it gets worse. Guts manages to survive by killing apostle after apostle until he finds out what happens to Casca. I said before, he and Queen Casca were had a thing that pretty much they were in love with each other. Guess what Griffith does as he transforms into a God Hand or his family? The first thing he does, I won't say it particularly, that's pretty much what we're gonna say. I'm gonna put a 3-letter word and see if you can be able to get it from there. N-T-R.
I think I have a good idea from that.
And Gus pretty much, he tries to stop it. Apostle grabs his arm. He uses his sword to cut it off to try to kill him. Another apostle grabs him, takes his eye out, and well, that was all she wrote. They didn't die. Thankfully enough, being pretty much saved them in the last minute. But after that, it messed him up. 3 ways to Sunday. I was just sitting back as I saw this moment from like start to finish. I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? What the hell how did they allow this to go on the air? And like if anything, like any video, like I'm not gonna say the name, but if you know certain girls and certain cubs, you can probably get what I'm saying from that. Once you see something like that, you cannot unsee it. It is swimming rent free in your brain in terms of what the hell did I just watch moment.
Makes me wonder if it was heavily censored and like. I do remember this tidbit. If you were right about it, it reached the era of like when it was broadcasted in Japan. I do remember a lot of times the anime that will go over the air in Japan, they'll be heavily censored, of course, unless it's of a poorly timed thing. Then they just hold it off for a little while. I remember that in 07, 08, somewhere along those lines, there was an anime called School Days where it ended in a very, very catastrophic. Yeah, that ending, the ending episode had to be held off because, well, in that, as some people remember, it ends in a double homicide. But it couldn't be aired because I believe a few days before a report came out through the news of a very graphic murder that happened between, I believe, a student and her father. So they ended up having to hold that shit off.
Yeah, I know that
and
scene you were talking about.
Yeah, and even then, even then, when they had to broadcast that final episode, it had to be a little bit censored to a degree. Because I ended up seeing the original. I ended up seeing like the original that was pulled off of TV, and then later on it got re-released, and then there was a whole lot of different details in that added to the gruesome graphic violence. So I imagine that if you were worried about that particular moment in Berserk, I would imagine that they had to be heavily censored so that way it can be broadcast over TV. If not, I can't remember. I only remember certain tidbits about Japanese censorship laws or to protect the public from like certain certain kinds of imagery, be it the lewd, TC Smoochie, and something as violent as like that.
Yeah, I kind of left a little detail out because I just remember this. Anime I first watched was like back in the 90s, I believe. I'm trying to remember the year of it. Let's see what year was it. Let's see. Oh, 1997. Okay, it was 1997. That anime pretty much it was like somewhat censored, but you could probably tell what was happening with the still frames and everything. Whatever producer anime company did pretty much made a 3-part movie of this original series called like the Golden Age, and my goodness, they took it a step further in that scene. I'm like, this is definitely a little bit worse. Like in the original anime, I'm like, okay, this is bad, but I'm glad there's like still frames and nothing's moving. But in the movie, things are moving. I ain't gonna get into no detail, but like I said, things are moving. It's not uncensored, but things are moving. That's the best I can explain it.
It's probably for the best.
Like, good God, it was moving. It's bad enough you see it once back in the original anime, so then you bring it up with more graphical fidelity in a movie. I'm like, am I trying because not watch this anime anymore? I mean, Berserk has a bunch of more like crazy messed up stuff after this. Trust me, it gets worse than this. This is probably the most iconic WTF moments in anime that pretty much stood out to me as like number one. There are contenders, but I'll say those for another time. What about you, Gonzo? Like if moment pretty much said like that, you said to yourself like, what the heck was that? Or something like that.
Well, I can't think of any specific moments, but I just remember like fucking when my parents ended up like getting a hold of a basic satellite package and like 1 or 2 additional stuff. I basically had to think of the whole anime called Witchblade that was pretty much a kind of what the fuck kind of moment, because it was literally my first foray into something more serious than what was available back when local channels still had Saturday morning blocks and probably morning and afternoon cartoon blocks during the weekdays. Like I remember it was basically I think it was the channel that I saw Witchblade on was, I think it was IFC, which was a small indie, which was basically, it covers about indie films. And I basically went, what the fuck, because that was supposed to be based on like an American comic, and it's that kind of stuff ended up having like a TV series that didn't go that crazy into it, but what ended up being pulled off into the anime was a little bit crazier than before, especially given how risque it was. But then again, it was IFC. I think I ended up getting a hold of the anime myself later on, and it was much different through the box sets that I'd gotten a hold of than what was broadcasted. But hey, it was because it was on satellite, they got away with it a little bit. Nothing too explicit or anything, but by God, the shit that you got. It's basically, I can't remember how it goes, but basically a lot of fan service, and basically a woman stuck with some artifact pretty literally embedded into her skin that just goes hunting for like the next battle or some shit like that.
Okay.
The fact that shit pulled around, and I ended up finding this out later because there was some documentary that I caught later on also from cable, where what I ended up seeing was also pretty much bare bones what we got instead of with the Japanese, because they ended up censoring a lot of this shit. I'm surprised.
Like I haven't seen this anime, but I have heard about it because I watched like the American like live action show of it. It is completely different between the two.
Oh yeah, it is completely different. Like just forget the live action shit, because holy fuck, it's a whole different ball game, I'm afraid.
Well, like I'm looking it up now because like I was curious about it. I'm like, good God, Miss Molly, what the hell?
Yeah, it's hell. Come to think of it, because of how fucking Witchblade was against my serious anime watching, I literally got a slim box set of it. It's still in my collection from like, it ended up like arriving on like my birthday, and I want to say 08 or 09, and it's still in my collection to this day.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's. I'm not gonna look anymore of that.
You just be careful. It's fan servicey as fuck, as I said.
Like I said, I was checking it out because I was curious. Like, hey, I may want to check this out, but after looking at the images, I'm like, oh, there's absolutely no way I could be able to sit through this, man.
Not with company, unless they're okay with just fan service kind of stuff.
Dude,
Like mandatory beach episodes, lots of flashing around and stuff, but also a lot of violence.
okay, I probably will say this because like this term kind of encapsulate this. And a friend of mine, YouTuber named Sticks, says this line a bunch of times. This anime is particularly Gunner material.
Yeah, this one is one of the oldest Gunner materials that I do remember. So
if I showed this to Sticks, he would probably look at me plus and probably watch it and then get mad at me for showing him this.
yeah.
Like, good grief. Like, I've known, like, because the thing is, I play, like certain gotcha games that has, like certain, like, good material, but Witchblade is really, like, pushing the envelope of what could be loud in an anime.
Yeah, but the story ain't too bad. For the long and short of it, it deals with the curse, the woman who was forced to wear this cursed thing.
Mhm.
She's homeless, as well as a daughter she adopted. Both of them can't very, very much. The woman, amnesia completely. Doesn't even know how the hell this fucking cursed thing got onto her arm and shit like that. And basically, it's her. It's basically a story about her trying to like get her life going, so that way she can offer her kid a solid life, while also trying to deal with this fucking horse shit that she got dragged into, and how a whole bunch of other, mysterious forces kind of wanted a slice of that too.
Okay, that makes sense. Like, as long as the story's good, I might give it a watch at one point, maybe.
Yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, to be fair, at this point with our podcast, I was starting to like think about other ideas for people we can do other than like just discussion. Be like a group react video on certain things. Like, say, like you come across something you want to pull up and pretty much have us watch live. I was pretty much thinking about that at some point. I was gonna say like, hey, let's watch a clip of Witchblade, and I thought about it. I'm like, that's not gonna work. I won't be able to look at the screen. God dang it.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of what the fuck kind of animes.
Oh,
So be careful, dude.
Oh, best believe I'll probably wait a bit before I think about watching it. So that's gonna be like in the back burner if I get curious to watch it.
Yeah, and sadly, a lot of the animes that I remember and recommended, with only one exception, I've only ever binged long time ago. In fact, that's kind of why I'm trying to do our anime April thing with our group, so that way it'll be an excuse to actually sit down and watch some of the animes.
Oh, okay.
Oh god, how am I gonna handle the other one I wanted to watch? Oh, because one other topic, the most recent anime that I also want to watch was called what's it called? Hold on, shit, I forgot how to pronounce it. There, Shikimori is not just a cutie. It looks lighthearted. I tried to sit through the first episode, then ADHD kicked in. I was like, ooh, shiny thing, and then I forgot to pick it up again.
ADHD could burn.
Yeah, from what I understood, this one's lighthearted. Basically about a girl who just got some sort of different riz that just woos over a boy.
Oh, I know what you're talking
And
about.
like it's like the complete opposite of like a lot of the movies that I ended up sitting, where like there's like a girl who like buys for like a bad guy, like Grease, but it's complete opposite and in a Japanese school setting.
Actually, I know the anime you're talking about because I watched it from start to finish. I actually
Shikimori's not just a cutie.
Yep, I watched it. And dude,
yeah,
man, from start to finish, yeah, it's pretty much it's a good slice of life. It's like a breath of fresh air from like other like anime tropes. Like pretty much guy pretty much goes after a girl, and pretty much he's like a badass and he's into it. But this is pretty much all the way around. She has Riz and she's wooing the boy rather than the other way around, because that's like for me that's a good breath of fresh air. Like in terms of anime, wouldn't be like standard like guy meets girl, guy falls in love with girl, tries to go after girl, and then in multiple episodes go do crap just to get to her and finally get to the end. In this anime, at least for the first episode, what is pretty much this entitled, they are already a couple and they're basically just going through life for certain situations between the two. And my dude, okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything because the premise of the anime is pretty basically setting itself. But dude, it is lighthearted, but it's also freaking touching too. Because like it does switch on like certain aspects like on anime, like certain like kind of like real life things like self-worth to basically being peer pressure, stuff like that, jealousy, all that. Pretty much it ties it in, it touches on it, and it perfectly expresses it and how to address it, like in a relationship and something like that. I would highly recommend that anime for you to watch. It is a good sit down anime because like bro, like I have a list of like top anime, and that one it's definitely in there in my top anime, along with Cowboy Bebop and such. You picked a good anime to check out, so trust me, it's a good watch. Trust me.
Hoping to get to that. If not, they're in April probably. to words on my own.
Yep.
Oh god.
Alright, let's
Headache's
probably
trying to like come back.
we'll cap it
Headache's
off.
trying to come back, but I'm alright.
Okay, we'll cap it off with one more topic and then we'll do a little bit closing thing. Okay, one last topic.
Alright, shoot.
Okay, if you're going to introduce like anime to someone who's new to anime, what anime would you recommend them to start off with?
Well, it all depends on what they want.
Like say they're
Because,
just like there's first like discovering it, they pretty much want to know about it, want to like watch it, so they can probably get that feeling of what and hold those who do watch it, they must get the feel like starting out like something to ease them into, like something they can like sit through for a certain amount of time, get that feeling, get that hook. They're like, hey, that's good. Let me watch something else, something like that.
Nothing is sadly coming to mind, considering a lot of the titles I doubt anybody's going to want to get into. Some of them are kind of weird in a sense. If I could get away with it, if I could get away with certain things though, if I could, God, one anime that I definitely binged and want to watch again, but this time different because I watched it sub and I kind of want to watch it again. Doro. I binged that like 6 years ago with a friend of mine. We sat through all fucking 13 episodes of that shit, and it's dark. It's set in like a little dark place with a little bit of dark comedy here and there, but there are some moments of like a little bit of humor here and there, some lightheartedness, and a little bit of mystery, and it just deals with some great, decent characters all around, even if it's got like a little bit of a fucked up mythos to it, so to speak.
Yeah, I get you.
Where it basically deals with a guy who has no idea how. He somehow has a lizard for a head, and he's trying to figure out what he is and how he is, because he can't remember a damn thing about it. So he's trying to figure himself out. He's got a little help here and there. And he's basically all doing this in the world that's just about as divided as, today, come to think of it, like with lower class getting beaten up, upper class being shielded far away from that shit. But it's basically got some interesting characters here and there, interesting mythos here and there. If I could get away with it, I recommend Doro, because supposedly there's a second season. I can't remember if it's going on out or not, but I remember hearing about it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'd definitely recommend that. Okay, I was gonna say for first anime to introduce someone, I was gonna say Cowboy Bebop, but given with this episode length, it might be too lengthy for a newcomer. So for something a little bit lighthearted, it has a little bit of meat to it, but has some comedy to get you little tickles, get a little feels in there. I would recommend Trapping the Data Sim. The World of Otome Games is tough for mobs. It's 12 episodes from start to finish. You'll get pretty much everything from start to finish, from comedy to action to pretty much to budding romance and stuff like that. It's a highly recommended easy anime to dive into since it's 12 episodes. You can pretty much sit there and have that in one sitting and pretty much you'll be good for the day. Okay, we got our both animes to produce. We got pretty much all our topics done. So we're gonna pretty much close it out with a little bit like our standard saying that pretty much for people to chew on, something to think about. And also, what would you say to our audience today?
In regards to what?
Basically, either what we went over, or pretty much like something like a closing sentence, like a remark, or something like say like, hey, have a good time, be good friends, or something like that, or eat your vegetables, something like that.
I might as well say this: there's quite a huge category of anime to go on. There's more than what you pretty much have probably heard about. You know, the Naruto, One Piece, Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, that kind of stuff. But I do want to warn you: just tread carefully.
Yep,
that's
carefully. It. Because there are some weird ones thrown in there. So yeah, be mindful of that.
Yeah.
For me, when you're watching anime, you starting out anime, or pretty much start out anything, always take it one step at a time, one episode at a time, one clip at a time. Get yourself familiar, get yourself eased into it. You gotta learn to crawl before you learn to walk, and before you learn to run.
Yeah. And always look around for the content warnings, so that way you're not totally caught off guard.
Yeah, totally. Yep, that's pretty much our sage advice for the ending today. Thank you, Gonzo, again for another episode, and pretty much hope we see you for the next one.
All right, I'm gonna lie down.
All right, this is Dan Waterman signing out, saying stay hydrated, stay classy, stay friendly to one another. Take care of yourselves out there. We'll see you next time.
All right.